A lot of Kamen Rider shows are centered around protecting a sort of peaceful status quo, but Kamen Rider Gotchard's the first series in a while where the show actively defaults to a specific monster of the week formula after resolving major conflicts. In spite of the power scaling and corresponding threats ramping up, the show deliberately scales down its Monster of the Week dealings to a sort of baseline, so it's particularly effective when that format gets broken. Case in point, the introduction of a new version of the Amalgam monsters that the Kamen Rider Gotchard cast has been fighting all series. Normally, when a amalgam is defeated, the chemi that the amalgam is made of is safely purified and able to be contained. This new breed of amalgam, though they're not particularly stronger, something is still off. Though Hotaro hesitates, noting the oddness of the situation, when push comes to shove, when people are in danger, he makes the conscious choice to protect them first, and in the process unveils what makes these new amalgam different.
どうしたスケ坊主もう大丈夫だ
Even though that's just a skateboard with eyes, it's hard to miss the fact that it's supposed to be a corpse. A corpse of an ally that has been around since episode 2. Hotaro is left shell shocked, but he arguably didn't have much of a choice in the matter because he didn't have all the information. Thus, when the problem rears its head again, the two other Kamen Riders are used to illustrate the duality of that choice. Kamen Rider Majade's hesitation pointedly puts her and a pair of their allies in danger, while Kamen Rider Valvarad makes the choice to destroy the amalgam, fully intent on shouldering the blame himself. Not long after, however, the choice presents itself to Hotaro in its worst form possible. It's the corrupt Hopper 1, the Kemi who's been around since the first episode. Hotaro's best friend, who is arguably just as integral to Kamen Rider Gotchard as Hotaro himself. And once again, Hotaro destroys the amalgam that is threatening the safety of the people. Once again, he quantifiably sacrifices one Kemi for two humans.
さあ明確に染まれ
As Hotaro literally and metaphorically withdraws into himself, he is given a third choice. If having to make this choice is what's causing him so much pain and suffering, why not just run away? Surprisingly, Hotaro doesn't spend all that much time moping in his egg. When he's made to reflect on everything he's done to get to this point, Hotaro decides no, he wouldn't actually do anything different. It's a really character reaffirming moment, simultaneously reestablishing who Hotaro is and what his goals are, and also showcasing how much he's matured. Hotaro's still the loudmouthed oddball from the beginning of the series, but instead of always spouting ideals and conveniently having the power at his disposal to achieve his ends, Hotaro is willing to compromise in the moment. There are people who need saving. He cannot afford to dally. And ironically, it's this arguably morally gray choice that paves way for the advent of the most colorful Kamen Rider Gotchard yet. Or perhaps it's precisely why. Hotaro accepting that his choices aren't always going to be black or white is what creates this veritable rainbow of possibilities. Admittingly, the notion is kind of undercut because the chemies who are taken out are immediately revived at the moment of Rainbow Gotchard's debut. But consider this doesn't just protect a peaceful status quo, but actively works towards the coexistence of humans and chemies. The ability to assuage past wrongs and work towards a better future is the point. That's not even the thematic subtext, that's just the text. Like, to an extent that a time traveling version of Hotaro has actually shown up before to nudge things towards a better outcome. I also really like how they tied Hotaro's spontaneous growth as an alchemist to cooking. Chemistry and the culinary arts are disciplines that are often noted for how much overlap they have. This was also foreshadowed way back. There's the fact that Hotaro grew up in a restaurant environment, so cooking being an intrinsic part of his self actualization makes a lot of thematic sense. Also, note that the first benchmark Hotaro singles out on his path to being a celebrated alchemist is Spanner, who is coincidentally a way better chef than Hotaro, too. How fitting then that as Hotaro grows more proficient as an alchemist, he begins to take on shades of Spanner's pragmatism. Anywho, that's enough from me. Comment your thoughts, like, subscribe, and until next time, see ya.